Okay, so in this video we're going to be looking at the classification of matter. So we know that there's many different types of matter, and in this video we're going to break it down into their different categories. So first let's start again with what matter is, and it's anything with a mass and volume. That's what we're going to consider to be matter, and can be broken down into two main categories. The two main categories being pure substances and mixtures. In a pure substance, that means that substance is made up of only one type of particle, and we should know what the definition of a particle is. A mixture is just different types of particles all mixed together in this substance. So that's our main difference between a pure substance and a mixture. Is a pure substance one type of particle, mixture many different types of particles. Then these two categories can also be broken down. Pure substance can be broken down into elements and compounds. And an element is just all the same atoms. So pure substance, all same type of particle. We break that down, then you have an element that's all the same type of atoms. With compounds, it's all one type of particle, but those particles are going to be all the same molecules. So now if we look at the mixture is going to be different types of particles. So many different types of particles just mixed together in a substance. Heterogeneous means that you can see the different parts. So if you look at the different parts, you can see the different particles there. You can physically see them. In a homogeneous mixture, you cannot see the different particles. So there's different particles there, and you can't see the different particles. You know that there's different particles there, but you just can't see the difference from one particle to the next. They all look the same. Okay, so let's look at the different substances, just different types of substances, and see if we can determine, is this a pure substance or is this a mixture, and why. So I have pure substances here, mixtures here, and I'm going to bring in some types of matter, and we're going to determine, is it a pure substance or a mixture. So if we look at this first type of matter, you have this hexagon shape particle, and it's bonded to itself, and we have all of them are exactly the same type of particle. So all same type of particle, that's going to be a pure substance. If I bring in another sample, we have triangles, we have these oval, circle type things. We could see that they're different. That's going to be a mixture. We have different types of particles. Bring in another substance here. We have a square bonded to a triangle, square to a triangle, square to a triangle. These are all the same type of particles. So that's going to be a pure substance. If we bring in another one, in this we have all circles, all just one type of particle, another pure substance here. So again, pure substance, all same type of particle. Mixtures, you're going to have different types of particles there. So now I want to look at just the pure substances, because now we have just pure substances on this side, and I want to see, well, what makes this a compound or an element. Then we'll look at mixtures, and we'll look at the two different types of mixtures. Okay, so with a pure substance, we can either have an element or a compound. Remember, elements are going to be all the same type of atom. Compounds going to be all the same type of molecule. So if we bring our first one in here, we have a whole bunch of red circles. They're all the same particle, and they're all the same type of atoms. They're all just one type of atom here, red circles. So that's going to be an element. If we bring in another sample here, we have our green shape here, and they're all the same type of shape. So that's going to be another element, because they're all atoms. They're all the same atoms. This final one, this one has a triangle bonded to a square. Two different types of atoms, if we're calling the shapes atoms here. If we have two different types of atoms and they make a bond, that's a molecule, and all these are the same type of molecules. So this is a compound. So hopefully you can see the difference between an element and a compound. just based off the type of particles that you have. All the same type, yet this is just one type, one atom, type of atom, and these are all the same molecules. Okay, so let's look at the different types of mixtures. So, if I bring in a sample here, we know that this is a mixture from a previous slide, and we have different types, and they're not bonded to each other, different types of particles, not bonded to each other, just mixed together. We have triangles with the circles, they're not bonded in any way. We can see that they're different, they look different, we can see the difference. That's going to be a heterogeneous mixture. Now, I'm going to bring in this sample. In this sample, we have squares and triangles. You may be able to see one being a square, one being a triangle, or you probably can't. And that's the point, is that the homogeneous mixture, you have different particles there, squares and triangles, but they all look the same. There's no difference in these and what they look like. There is a difference in what they are. There's different atoms. There's some of them are triangles and some of them are squares, but you can't physically see the difference. If you can't see the difference, then that's a homogeneous mixture. So hopefully this video helped you determine what's an element, what's a compound, what's a heterogeneous mixture, and a homogeneous mixture, and the differences between all of them.